All right, today I want to share with you 10 studio items under $50. Is it hummus time or what? Now these are going to be non-audio, non-recording equipment related items. Why, you ask? Well, because the recording studio is more of an experience than just recording equipment. That's kind of like for us. Who else should we consider in the recording studio? Like the people who come in, the clients, the artists, the musicians, the people who come here, the people who you want to work with you. What is their experience like? The ability to have professional recordings, technically, is just expected. So anything else that raises the bar, that is what separates you and every other studio. So we're gonna go through some things that can spice up that experience for under 50 bucks. All right, so the first item on the list is definitely going to be unexpected, but very, very important, and you can never have too many in the studio, which are lamps. Lighting is very, very important for musicians to see what they're doing, for a singer to be able to read their lyrics if they're not reading from a phone, for also just to set a comfortable atmosphere. Lamps are just the greatest studio hack for lighting. You notice if you go into studios, you don't see a lot of overhead fluorescent lighting in them. There are dim lighting, there is lamps, sometimes there are candles or electronic candles, sometimes there are Christmas lights, and so it feels comfortable to be in. It's almost like you walk in and you kind of go, this feels nice in here. I'm gonna link some of these down here. Look at the ones that I use in my studio. I'll start with these that I have over here on my racks. I got in a 2-pack on Amazon for 30 bucks. These are great. They have these cool little Edison bulbs in them. They're small. You can put them on desks. You can put them on a counter. You can put them on top of your rack, just like I have. The next one are going to be more of like room accent lighting. This one I just added into my guitar booth. It was also 30 bucks, and the light bulb that comes in, it actually switches to a few different temperatures. Yes, these are cheap. You're not gonna be able to move a lot with these. We're going for budget friendly. We're trying to save our budget for our bills and for all of our subscriptions and to keep the studio running and hopefully invest back in the studio. Number 2, small, portable, lightweight tables. You're gonna need these because someone's gonna come in and they're gonna sit down, and what's the first thing they're gonna do? They're gonna go to set their drink down. They're holding a drink, they need to be able to set it down. Side tables are a good place for drinks. You don't wanna put the drinks next to the expensive stuff. Put it on a side table. It's just a part of the whole feeling comfortable where you are, like you have what you need, but you don't have to hold it. I've got one next to the keys over here. I've got one next to the rack. I try to keep one next to anywhere where someone is going to be sitting down. In the podcast set, there's one on both sides. I keep them in the drum room. Sometimes you can use them to hold the headphone box and a little lamp so that they can see what's on the headphone box. But these particular side tables that I use here in my studio are 2 for $40, so $20 a table. That's a good deal. But these tables have become so valuable on sessions. When somebody's coming in, hey, can I sit here? Hey, can I sit here? Yes, boom, grab a table, put your headphone box, put your coffee, or whatever you're gonna need right next to you. Game changer for the client's experience and for my experience of being able to go, here you go, put the stuff down. They just go, oh, great, this feels awesome. Number 3 is power strips. You can never have too many extra power strips. Now, there's a lot of generic options out there. You wanna make sure that you get a decent one, but here's what I mean. I don't mean power strips to power all your gear and very important guitar amps and things like that. I'm talking about a power strip for when someone sits down and they go, hey, can I plug in my laptop? Hey, can I plug this in? You wanna be able to have them essentially look down and see, oh cool, there's power right there. Especially now that you can find power strips that have USB ports right on them. Those are really, really powerful when people need to charge their devices. I got this 2-pack on Amazon for $25. Very, very useful. It's worth having too many and being ready for it. Number 4, phone chargers. People are gonna come in, they're gonna have phones, Android, iPhone. Have some phone chargers, either lightning cables or USB-C cables, or just a regular old phone charger that you could plug into the power strip and have it right there. So theoretically they can just look down and go, oh great, I love that place. Every time I go there, it has everything that I need. I can always sit down with my drink, be on my phone or have my tablet and work on my lyrics or look up the different parts or this song or that song, reference things, be able to plug it in, not have to worry about, oh no, my phone's about to die. We've all been there and our phones are always dying. So having a few extra chargers will go a long way. And you can get the cable or you can get the brick power charger. I'll put a couple that I use down in the description if you want to check them out. They range from like $7 to like $30, depending on if you want like a MagSafe style charger or wireless charger or something like that. Those are cool, but they can get a little bit pricey. Number 5, notepads and writing utensils. Notepads and pens and pencils, maybe a Sharpie. If you're labeling equipment with tape, you're gonna need some Sharpies, are so useful, especially when you're just like in the creative moment and you just need to write something down, or you're working in the studio as the engineer or producer and you're like, hold on, let's just write down the names of the songs, or hey, what mics are we using? Let's make a mic list. Hey, take this, rip the paper off, give it to them. Go plug these into those lines out. Food orders. Hey, we're gonna order some food. Everyone write down what you want, pass it around. There's a million scenarios where the notepads become so useful on the session, and it's not the first thing we think about when we're setting up the studio, but it is very, very valuable to have, and they're not expensive. You can get like a 12 pack of them for like 20 something dollars, but it is a very important thing to include in your studio in addition to pens and pencils. Just get boxes of them, keep them around. They're like guitar picks. They're very hard to track and trace down. So if you have them sort of spread around, it's gonna be good for you and for the clients. Okay, now we're at number 6. Now we've covered the ability to see, basically having a place to put your accessories, plug your accessories in. The experience for people coming in at this point is pretty good, but what's missing? A chair. Now, chairs under $50, gonna be slim pickings. So probably the best advice would be get some halfway decent chairs for the clients, especially if it's like where they're primarily sitting in the control room. If you're doing a couch or if you're doing like individual seats, like nicer ones, go for that. But those can get more expensive, especially if you want to have a nice one. But here's what I'm going to recommend. The stackable conference room chairs. I know you've seen these before. They don't have any armrests. They basically have a little cushion under the butt and the back, and you can stack them. These are huge in commercial studios because you have a lot of musicians coming and going. Sometimes you don't know how many there's gonna be, and you need to have a spot for everyone to sit. So these stackable conference room chairs, I found some on Amazon that is a 5-pack, basically at $35 per chair. So this is a little bit of, you know, maybe more than $50 because I haven't seen where you can get them individually. This is the total price, but you can get 5 of these, and 5 is a good number to start with, especially for a place like mine where I have 2 booths. There's drums and then sometimes acoustic guitar or singer or somebody else just sitting in there maybe playing bass with the drummer, and then we have another booth where you could put 2 or 3 people. Being able to have some stackable seats that I can store away when we're not using and then bring them out when we need them. But stackable seats are going to be great, and it's better to have them and not use them than not have them and need them. Okay, number 7 is an easy one. It is drinks, beverages. So simple, so easy, but it makes a big difference when someone shows up to the studio and you have a drink that you can offer them. Could be coffee. You can get a bag of coffee for under $10 or right around $10, depending on how nice you want your coffee to be. I actually keep mine on a subscription because we've got a grip of people here in my studio all the time, guests always coming in, and there just always needs to be coffee ready to go. And then obviously water. Cases of water. I think it's good to get spring water, keep some out of the fridge, room temperature for the guests, singers particularly, and then some in the fridge. Some people like cold water, some people like room temperature water. And then outside of that, you can just have sort of like tea or soft drinks. Like I like to keep some Arizona half and half iced tea, Arnold Palmer things, and some LaCroix. Now, when it comes to keeping something healthy in the studio, this is what I keep stocked. This is called Magic Mind. It is a mental performance shot. They're a sponsor of the channel. This is good for getting a dose of nootropics, nutrients, antioxidants, 12 simple ingredients that are very healthy, but it actually tastes good. These are delicious. Sometimes I'll even have 2 a day. So when I come into the studio, into a session, and I need to be focused on the song, the production, or the plan for our session, I'll grab one of these shots to help focus myself on whatever the mission ahead is. And these are an excellent option for me. I've actually been using them here in the studio for months, and I've had a significant improvement in my ability to stay on task while getting a dose of healthy ingredients at the same time. You can get a subscription to them, and obviously the more you get, the more you save. This one is going to cost more than $50, but if you're buying soft drinks or Cokes or something like that, if you just substitute that for this, the cost is roughly the same, and it is an investment in your sanity and in your health. So if you want to check out Magic Mind and get it for your studio, I'll put a link with a discount down in the description. So big thanks to Magic Mind. Go check out the link and get your subscription started today. In fact, I'm gonna do one right now. Oh, amazing. So good. All right, number 8. This one is more of an atmosphere for the studio item, and that is candles. Now, with candles, you have to be careful because some people are sensitive to fragrances, like my wife. I'm also pretty sensitive. If it doesn't smell good, it can be very off-putting. So you want to be careful with this and not go too crazy with the scents, but it is nice to have some sort of smell that becomes sort of familiar with the space. It is just, there's something about it that's really nice. This is one that I really like. I actually got this at Target. I believe this is actually a Target brand, Room Essentials, and this is, I think Bohemian is the scent of it. Obviously, you're gonna pick out whatever you're gonna pick out, but this is like $9, and 2 of these a month. You know, light them every once in a while. Obviously, be careful with candles because you could burn down your entire studio. If you don't want to have flames in the studio, electric candles are cool, especially if you're doing like a vocal booth and you want to kind of have different vibes, but that's just my take. Electric candles are very popular in commercial studios, and then scented candles I've found in a lot of home studios and project studios. People will have these, and it is really nice to walk in and just be like, oh, it smells good in here. Number 9. Tapestries. A tapestry is basically a big piece of fabric with some sort of design on it, and you can use them for a bunch of different things. When I worked at East West, we would set up vocal booths in the live room with panels. We'd bring the panels together behind the singer. We'd hang up a packing blanket to sort of deaden the actual panels, and then we would put tapestries over it to make it look nicer, make it look like something, like a creative little area, and then we'd put a little side table, some water, some tea, a little electric candles around it. So having stuff like this that you can kind of throw up and create just an intimate little area can be really nice. And I found 2 tapestries on Amazon for $20. I picked some designs and I thought maybe they're gonna be cool and maybe I'll use them. Maybe I won't, but you never know when a tapestry or something like that is going to be useful. So it is nice to have 1 or 2 that you can throw up if you need to. All right, and bonus round here for number 10, because it's technically right around $50-$60, but that is a music stand. I just never ever think when it comes to setting up a studio about a music stand. And then when you get players in, they need to be able to put paper in front of them. A lot of the players are either reading lyrics or they're reading charts. Obviously, if they're playing an instrument, they need to be able to set their chart down on something and be able to see it while they're performing. And same goes with singers. So a couple music stands. The ones I use are like $57. And then you can get some technically for $49. So I'm squeezing it on here at number 10. So make sure you have at least 1 music stand in the studio. They are really helpful. They do take up a little bit less space than a side table or something like that. So that's my number 10. And then a couple more bonus things that I would mention would probably be just random accessories, snark tuners, guitar tuners to have around that clip on. You get a 2-pack for like $20. Capos, glass slides, guitar picks, drumsticks, gaff tape, things like that. These are all really important things on the session that we reach for almost every single time that, again, aren't recorded related, but do make a very big difference in the recording. So that's my list of 10 things that you should consider getting for your studio under $50 that make a world of a difference for not only you on the session when you're working, but also the experience that other people have when they come into your studio. If you like videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, leave some comments down below. I will try to reply to all of them, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.